Can you hear me now?
Okay, cool.
All right,
That should be good.
All right, so just so I'll correct that one. As many of you know, Zoom has been featured in the news as having some security issues. This is not the security topic we intended to talk about, but just quickly, the schools are using Zoom and they're also using Google Meet for a lot of their stuff. So a lot of their features are getting there. One of the new rollouts was an audio plugin. I just needed to grant it permission inside of our OBS stream, which I just did. So now it's working.
Nice. Do we need to do a mini like reintroduction kickoff? We just want to let things roll from here.
You just,
I think they know who we are.
I think we're good. We hadn't covered the topics. And they don't need to know about my daughter destroying the pantry and me getting ready to go to Costco tomorrow.
But they heard that part.
Mm.
Yeah, Geek said that's the part they heard.
Oh.
If you don't take a division style picture tomorrow on your voyage to Costco,
Whoa.
I'm gonna be.
Well, I'm wearing.
Wait, you had your gear, right, Geek?
Yeah, so
right?
I'm wearing this mask. I'll put the mask on for every. I'm not wearing the
Oh, my
eyeglasses, but I am wearing. Come on, Hurt. You're gonna like this mask.
Yeah, it's right up your alley, Hurt.
Let's go.
So I'm gonna put a surgical mask underneath this one, and this is how I'm going to Costco tomorrow. I will put. My wife wants me to wear gloves, but hey.
Dude, go full regalia. Just go get those like Dawn like dishwashing gloves that come all the way up to here.
Yeah,
I used to change diapers with those. Believe it or not,
I got the glasses. My kid wants me
Oh,
to wear
boy.
glasses. So you guys have seen the glasses before too. So
There you go.
Whoa.
we can be pimped out for Costco.
There you go.
I can't see with these things on because of lights and stuff, but they fall
Yeah,
up with the mask. But
You don't
Now
need to
what-
see. It's all
what
about how
good
you
to
do
The
those glasses,
unintended
dude.
light show.
right? Hey, dude, it's right up there with Persona 5 and the casino and stuff, right?
Yeah, at the beginning, that's definitely the flashy lights. I think that's what you really had it on for.
Kanye really loves flashing lights.
That might have been the worst dad joke from a non-dad I think I've ever heard in my life.
I am though. I got 3.
He's got 3. He's allowed to tell dad jokes. I got
I
it.
just age well.
So bad. Engel went to a bit of amnesia. Couldn't remember.
Wait, is Angle flashing back to when his dad told that joke?
Oh.
Even
Almost old enough to
his
be your
jokes
dad.
are better than that, and he's about 30 years older than her.
Dude, I was watching I was watching some mixer stream the other day because there was absolutely nothing to do, and they were playing. I don't remember his name. I'd have to log him in the wrong mixer for it right now. But he was something. His name was Dad something, and they were playing Division 2, and he was just letting loose with dad jokes, and so he let loose with some pirate dad jokes. So I popped the question to him. I said, "What's a pirate's favorite state?" And he came back and he said, "What, Arkansas?" And I said, "Nope." He said, "Well, then what?" I said, "Drunk." He was like, "Okay." He's like,
He
Living in
also should have been like
Arkansas?
Arkansas.
Yeah.
But the issue is that there's a lot of dry counties in Arkansas.
Right,
so
simple. Oh, man.
That should be a segment one day. It's just the world's worst dad jokes.
Ooh.
dude, I
I've
got
got
you covered.
That's like Kurt and I can get this down. I've got a book, a couple of them. Even one gets kept in the bathroom.
He was watching the stream, taking jokes down too.
You live in the.
Oh yeah. There's a
Peaks.
bunch of dry counties
Yeah.
in Arkansas. So funny story. I know we're trying to talk about. So years ago, I was like 13 or 14. I was at the store.
Not that long ago.
That's like over 10 years ago. But I think 12, 13 years ago.
30.
Regardless. Yeah. You're level 44, we know. But anyway, so there's this big man, like massive, wearing some like foreign rock band t-shirt, like overalls, but they were shorts. Like they were made that way. They weren't cut in shorts. They were overalls, but they were shorts. Almost like what is it the little Swedish kids wear? And Crocs, big purple Crocs.
What is it the little Swedish kids wear?
Yeah, he comes up.
Lederhosen?
Yeah, Lederhosen. He's wearing Lederhosen, a foreign rock band T-shirt, and big purple Crocs. A big, massive dude with a beard, and he comes up. He's holding like 2 mixers, for like alcohol. And he's like, "Where's the vodka?" And I'm like, "What?
Where's
the vodka?"
You got a guy that's Russian, dressed in Lederhosen.
Geek, I think you need to pull up a picture of Lederhosen for her because I don't think he knows what
I'm confused.
We are off the rails from the get-go in this one. This is great.
There's
This
a
is
very
the
strong
segment called Hurt's Story Time.
That's what he was wearing. I'm not even kidding you. And he's like, "Where's the vodka?" And I'm like, "There's no vodka here, sir." He's like, "No vodka."
You
And I'm
guys,
like,
okay? How many of you people want to see me take this picture right here
Geek, you
and superimpose Hertz head on top of it?
please.
Oh, what picture are
Peaks,
we doing
Peaks,
here?
I swear you have Lederhosen. You need to come on the channel
Yes.
so we can see these.
Yeah. So basically, denim overall shorts is like what Peak said, but they almost look just like that.
Yeah.
And
You sure he
was
wasn't
like asking
German?
me adamantly where the vodka was. I'm like, "There's no vodka here, dude."
You sure he wasn't
Reminds me
German?
of Beer Fest.
Because I was going to say Oktoberfest, which is huge
Yeah,
in Germany.
Oktoberfest would make
I
more
don't-
sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh wait, vodka and Oktoberfest kind of doesn't go together. Hold on, what?
But it was just so confusing. And he went up to the girl at the cash register,
Jaeger
like
bombs.
asking her where the vodka was. She's like, "You have to go like 2 counties that way to get any alcohol."
I don't have that problem. I don't drink. I mean, just occasionally.
All right. I'll take that break as that quick moment
Okay,
to jump in and
quick
bring
question.
this thing back on track.
For the audience, though, are there any games out there for any of the platforms where the character wears lederhosen? I have no idea. Question: Is there? And no, Mario and his overalls do not count.
Mario.
Oh man.
Just
Gotta
I
find
have
some
no
Jerry
idea.
There
for
has
it.
to be at least one. There has to be at least one.
I mean, if you think about it, yeah, there.
Start
Has to
googling
be
people. Let's find
one.
out.
I'm googling.
We're at a standby moment,
Yeah.
Otto. This is part of.
I wish I could tell you I knew
Locker's
how to
story
spell
time.
Lederhosen.
I'm trying to keep it together here. I'm sweating because I'm like, we're not on track.
HOSEN. Like,
Actually, that was wrong. It was
LEDER.
L-I
No, LE.
L-E.
Listen to the level 44 dude that's old that knows how to spell it because his dad took yodeling lessons.
You are right.
What?
I'm all the way on.
Hold on,
Is
hold
it
on.
where
Go back.
lederhosen are worn. There we go.
So geek, like, you know how like each of us like have fond memories of our family, like, or I hope you do. But is this what you remember? Is there like yodeling sounds or something like that
We
like
went-
you grew up with, and that's your childhood rhyme?
No, it was a one-time thing. My dad was interested, and we went to Oktoberfest. We lived up in Oregon, and the guys were like yodeling lessons. And my dad looked at us, and he's like, "You guys game?" And I was like, "Oh no," because I was a freshman in high school. I was like, "This is going to be embarrassing." No, it was actually kind of fun, but it was really, really stupid. But it was this was also the same event was Eagles. I don't know if you guys know what Eagles is. It's a huge, huge medieval reenactment. So you get several different teams go up there. They dress up in medieval swords and shields.
Is that where
and
they
all
like
this
beat
other
the
stuff.
snot out of each other?
Yeah, just think of like Braveheart, the scene from Braveheart, the movie. Just everyone going out. It's controlled violence. And
We have that kind of up by
That's
me.
a
We just
concept.
call it our medieval festival.
Yeah, it was. I mean, so it's pretty cool. I figure, we have something like that here where they do kind of medieval combat training, and you can do it like the Viking.
Yeah, it's like
axe throwing stuff.
HEMA or stuff. Yeah.
So if I, since Guardian Con's not happening, I get the guys to come out here. We do barbecue. We go hit that out and see who can survive.
I'm down. Just make sure you stay 6 feet away from me.
Get fun in those things.
Well, we're working in this hypothetical state where everything's good and
Oh,
6
okay.
months, whatever. We're good there.
Yeah.
So
Hypothetical being key.
Mm.
If people don't get off the road,
All right. So Otto, where are we? What's our first stop on this train?
So the first stop, we're gonna run over some topics again. We got a good kind of spread of games that we're gonna cover in the news this week, right? Persona 5 Royal release, Resident Evil 3 remake launch day is today. We're gonna circle back to some Switch news, 2K collections we might be touching on, Modern Warfare 2 remaster, Nier Replicant news, and so on. But to kick things off, right? Somebody in the group here plays this game, Persona 5 Royal. I hear it's a big deal. I'm Forsaken Jay, what do you think?
Well, to put it shortly, it is pretty a big deal.
So for the uninitiated, what is it?
I told it's a Japanese role-playing game. It's based off the first one that came out, which was just Persona 5, and this is their remake, I guess you could call it. It's extended story, adding a few new characters, another place to explore. Let's see. I think there's like even in the beginning, like when I was doing the intro to it,
yeah,
it was different from what I experienced from when I actually just played Persona 5 itself. Like the abilities that I had at the beginning were somewhat different. Like it didn't go the way I thought it would have went. Like, because when I was streaming it last night, Geek was asking me questions about it, like what was different, and it's just little things that you notice as you're playing.
I caught a couple of reviews this morning, and that's one of those things that stood out. There were parts of like, it wasn't just like visuals they were saying, it wasn't like just audio stuff or like extra bonus things. Even like there was like a underground tunnel section, it seemed like that they reworked to take out a lot of the nitty gritty kind of like stuff in games that adds extra time, extra fluff time to those RPGs. I don't know, have you seen stuff like that too?
Well, even playing it all the way through when I played Persona 5
The first
was
time?
not really, the first time. Not the second or third, but the first. But it probably took me 120 hours.
Wow.
So my question on this is how is it like? What isn't Cyberpunk coming out soon?
September.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and call that soon, Hurt, if you want.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, with every
By Hurt's description, it is soon.
Yeah, it is.
So,
I mean, it was just January 1st, like yesterday, I swear.
Yeah. I blinked and
Hurt drinks too much.
It's April. Now there's a lot of games coming out, getting ready to come out.
I mean,
I hadn't planned on getting Persona 5 until Jay streamed it. I mean, we talked about it, and I did do a pre-order after he did quite a bit of talking to it, and I finally loaded it last night because I did the pre-order. One of the cool things if you order through Amazon and not through PlayStation is if you don't install it, you can get a refund within X amount of days.
Nice.
So I was watching Jay, and I finally decided I was going to install it. So I installed it last night, got through the first, was it episode or chapter, whatever you want to call it? Episode, I think is what they refer to them as. And then I had to download more stuff, and I got the rest of the DLC content. For those that are curious, some of the Q&A that I asked Jay, because I wasn't 100% clear on it, and Jay can correct me on this one. Persona 5, there's another game version of it. What is that? Just regular Persona 5 Gold?
Well, I mean, the
work?
one that's out just came out now,
Is
which
Royal.
is Royal.
Right.
The one that came out 2017, I believe, was just Persona 5. But it's just like they've done with their Persona games. They add a few characters sometimes, more story, so to say, more areas to explore, and the game ends up being longer.
Okay. Now, is that going to impact the end versus the anime?
Yes, because the end of the anime actually stops at this game, the original one, the Persona 5, no Royal addition to it. So I don't even know how Persona 5 Royal actually ends yet.
Okay.
I need about 120 hours, and I can tell you.
Yeah, because I know there's that, and then I know we've got in 7 days Final Fantasy VII coming out.
Yep.
And then next month we have Amazon New World, as well as Sword Art Online's new game, which I'll be getting both of those. They release on the same day. Cruel World. I really hate them.
I was going to say, how are you going to juggle that, like with all these huge titles, just like boom, boom,
just back to back?
Yeah,
with each other
I'm
too.
gonna have to set timers on my phone. I have no idea. I mean, I've been at least with the Sword Art Online games, those are leisurely games that I can go play when I have some downtime. I've been really excited. I did some of the beta stuff for Amazon's New World, so I'm really, really looking forward to that one. And then German would be happy to know that I went out and downloaded, since Xbox made Nier Automata available for free play if you're an Xbox Pass holder.
Too.
Yeah,
I went out and I got a couple hours in on that one. That's pretty cool. I can't wait. If it's that game is that good, I really can't wait to see what they do with the rework.
The next one.
Yeah. And now, is it going to be here's the question. Are they redoing the game, remastering the game like they did Final Fantasy VII, or is it going to be a sequel? I mean, that's what I really would want to know. If anybody knows, I'd be more than happy, because it's just right now, it's just teaser work. They're just like, look, we're going to redo it. And I think everybody just went, oh, and lost it. So.
That is kind of true.
Yeah. And then we also have Cyberpunk 2077 coming out. What else do we have coming out? There's more than just
well, I know it's not soon, but since soon is September's.
Hey,
by heart.
Hey,
Trails 4 is coming to PS4 as well.
Trails 4. Oh yeah, and then Trials of Mana, which I did the demo for, comes out the end of April. I'll be getting that as well.
Nice.
Yeah. So, because I when I'm looking at games, I'm not only looking at games for myself, but also games that my kids can play. My daughter goes through games right and left because she's got the attention span of a squirrel. But my son,
I think we do too.
my son though likes all those games. So to find stuff that he likes. He does not like Assassin's Creed, by the way, Ankle.
That's just upsetting.
I know that breaks my heart.
It's not because he doesn't like the
no.
graphics or some of the stuff. It's some of the mechanics. And I told him, I says, it's not really a game for you.
Yeah, I've done some brutal things in Odyssey.
Mm-hmm. Like the wall crawl, the wall climbing, and some of the mechanics for the jumps and the lands. He's just not having a good time with those. So
like didn't have like the hand-eye or the timing, I guess, down.
for a 7-year-old, I mean, he does all right.
It can be a pain if it is a little mechanic heavy.
Yeah,
especially with the fighting. If you're not careful, you die quickly.
Yeah.
It's not just counter.
No.
Yeah, Peaks, the beta won me over on it. I'm kind of tired of, like, people ask me how come I left World of Warcraft and all that stuff. Yes, BFA was extremely, really, really just a complete letdown. I'm tired of game developers releasing beta games and calling it a production game.
No.
We'll do release.
Anthem.
BFA, Warcraft redone, all that stuff. So when I was looking at Amazon, I signed up for the beta and got into it. I was really happy with the product that they put out and the fact that they're taking the time to invest in it. Plus, like, when you get into like World of Warcraft or EverQuest, those games have been around for 10 to 15, 20 years. And the people that are still playing have amassed all this stuff, all these skill points. So new people coming in are a little bit of a disadvantage. They have a lot of catching up and a lot of learning to do.
Yeah, skill gap is like...
I just want to start a game with a clean slate and see where it takes me, And I think that's what we're going to get with the new world. It's more immersive. The controls are a little more in there, a little more free for all. So as you get going, you're going to have to form up a clan. You can still solo. You can still be like... the Black Swordman, in Sword Art Online, if you want to go do all that stuff on your own, or you can team up and do all that stuff. But I am looking forward to that one. So we'll see where it goes. I still think we need nerve gear though to get ourselves full immersion.
I'm down.
Yeah,
we can start that any day of the week.
Mm-hmm. You'll be the guinea pig.
I would say you want to be the guinea pig there.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Hey, what's his name? Elon Musk, and what's that thing he was putting in people's heads? Neuralink. I'm down. I was like, dude, I don't even care if I have like a big USB port that you gotta like stick in my head. I'm totally cool.
So yes, Peaks, I have seen Valorant.
Yes.
I am going to tell you, I'm not a first-person shooter fan. I mean, I like Destiny 2 and I like Division 2 and stuff. What's being spoken by several of the streamers that were talking that I try to solve some of the preview gameplay on and everything, they don't get what the hype is. It's just another game that they're skinning on it and everything else. So I don't know. We'll see where it goes.
I think the reason people are hyping
it's a CS:GO reskin.
That's what they
exactly.
said. They said it's CS:GO combined with Apex
and Overwatch. And
the problem is that they're having right now is the proposed or possible, because it's Riot and how much they charge for all their in-game purchases, even though they're cosmetic and everything, they think it's going to be a little out of obscene ranges. So I it's opinion and speculative. I hate doing that, but I don't know. I need to wait and see where it goes. It's not something I'll play. Angle might
Peaks.
play it and hurt my.
It's for me. It's too much like basically what he said, CS:GO reskin, and I'd rather play Apex. Like, I already know Apex is good. Why would I waste my time getting into a game that's basically just like Apex,
Yeah.
What would it take to jump from a game like that though? Because we're starting to see this. Even we talked about like Bleeding Edge had like all these kind of similarities. We see these kind of iterations, but what would it take to have another Apex hit the market?
Originality.
Well,
From a gameplay perspective,
He's
design
not wrong,
perspective.
Well, I mean, when it first came out, and you guys can correct me wrong because I'm not into this, and the viewers, please correct me wrong on this one. But when certain things started coming out, there weren't very many games out there, and all of a sudden, everyone decided, let's jump on the bandwagon and just hastily throw something together. Some of them succeeded, and some of them didn't. So right now, I'm not seeing any originality. I mean, I do like. Now, that being said, Warzone looks pretty freaking sweet because it's realistic kind of an environment where instead of all this cosmetic bull stuff with the 222 guns and lasers and all that other crap and armor and robots, you got soldiers dropping on the ground doing, duking it out in an environment like that. So I think that's kind of cool, and that's kind of a different perspective, and I think that's why Warzone is doing so well. Plus, the following the game is already had.
Yeah, I think the reason that Apex was so successful and is still successful is, one, it's like a battle royale. Everyone's got to have their own battle royale right now. But where Apex, threw its own little flavor and spice in is, it gave, the characters with the different abilities. You had passive, neutral, or if
ping system,
they're not balanced,
and
they're
the
not
ping
balanced.
system, and they're not balanced. Like you can have.
Titanfall universe. So Germans. So yeah, it's a good one too. Actually, I was thinking about that in the sense that like Apex also had this kind of like cult classic type thing, which Titanfall like kind of like carried into that, or at least helped that. Maybe that's even something like one of these companies would need to kind of play off of, right? Something that has some sort of passionate base, and then that mechanic that comes out in WoWs.
You see Titanfall, German. I would love to see him to bring out like a Gundam verse, where you can go out and you can start playing like back in the days, and you can start earning money and parts and everything, and you can start decking out Gundams and then go out into the battlefield. I think that would be pretty cool.
What was that one game? Mech Warrior, I think it was.
Yeah.
I love that game. I would love for them to
I still have the controllers I had for it in the closet back there.
Dude, I love that
wild.
game.
You were in diapers when that came out, bro.
I was about to say, like, that was like, I played that like late, but it was like one of those like PC games that I don't know.
Yeah, I started out on Mech Warrior. Was it Command and Conquer?
And here's what's
Age of Empires.
Yeah. So German, here's what's interesting. While I was over in Japan in December, they have it because we were at Gundam Base and there's some people playing it. We just can't get it here in the United States. And I can't get it to run on a U.S. licensed PC. I have a copy of the game. I just can't get it to run.
Really?
Yeah. So I have to get.
So you have to get a PC from over there, and
I'll try to.
I don't know
if
VPN tunnel it to somewhere else.
No. I can run a virtual machine on my box with a Windows install version with Japan version on it, and I have to be on a VPN for it to check into their servers. I don't understand a single word that's being said on the screen though.
Just get that Google Glass or whatever.
If I can get
how many layers of
translate,
technology do you have to go through to play a game?
Yeah. But there's talk about
all the things you do for one game.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's forcing me to learn Japanese, but yeah, I would love to see that brought over here. I could get into that one because then you could have true aim assist in the game. People wouldn't be on all this, and you got the rockets and just everything. It's Titanfall and to the 10th degree.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, they take mech combat over there very, very seriously. Yeah. Where in the United States, it's like, let's just give a guy a gun and make him look like a robot.
Call of Duty.
Angle, were there any points you want to make too on like games that would a kind of game like that what it would need to do to stand out?
The problem
Not
is
just reskin itself.
Definitely not just reskin itself, but the problem is a lot of these companies are trying to do it, and they're trying to do it off of games they already have, like Call of Duty. And granted, some companies can pull it off, some companies can't. But I think we need to stop in total because battle royales are not the greatest game mode. And I think once people actually start realizing that, it'll be a better world we live in. But we're kind of screwed because right now that's the big thing. Everybody loves battle royales, and it's like.
I mean, it was zombie games for a while because of
it was
zombies.
It was zombies for a while, then it was aliens.
Yeah.
It's flavor of the month. It's really
and it's just a repetitive flavor of the month too. That's the sad part. Like it's bland.
Yeah, it's kind of like where I'm really kind of happy about Amazon.
Peaks don't say that.
Yeah, Amazon's New World. because while it is MMO and it's a little bit different, it's got a little bit of this and a little bit of that. For me, having played lots of different MMOs and everything online, it is got an original storyline. It plays some realism on history that we've had in South America and those ancient civilizations and all that. It's really kind of, it plays to your sense of, okay, am I going to get fantasy fiction mixed in with a small dose of history and some reality, kind of like you get out of Assassin's
Creed.
And whatnot. So to be really interested to see what's going on. I think one game geek may be interested in something called Ashes of Creation. I have heard of it. I do not remember it, Twisted. We're also still waiting for Biomutant to come out, and they still don't have a release.
Dude, I want Biomutant so bad. So bad. I just want to be a little raccoon flipping around with a sword cutting things, dude.
You're weird.
Dude,
Man, he already looks like a raccoon, so.
Hey, you're the one that's been.
We're gonna start calling you Rocket now if you're not careful.
Rocket, there you go.
Rocket Locker. No.
Rocket
Right on.
His name is now Rocket Yeet Locker.
The Yeet Rocket Launch. The Yeet Rocket Locker.
Rocket launcher.
A
Say
couple
rocket
other-
locker three
That
times fast.
came out in 2017.
Yeah, I know Biomutant.
And that was Ashes of Creation you're talking about, Geek?
Yeah.
Although, Fate, Twisted. I thought
There it
someone
is.
said that it may be releasing
Rocket
sometime
Locker.
soon. Dude, I don't know. I just talk. But that's what I call the pants I wear.
That one, Twisted? Is that the one you're talking about? That was in my games to check out. I have a huge list of drop-down bookmarks, but I haven't gotten around to that one. I'll have to check that out. Is it free to... I don't know. It's free to play.
That's what Peaks calls his pants.
That's what I call the pants I wear. Rocket Lock. I look away from chat for 2
I
seconds.
really hope we all get that. I really do.
Peaks now has a
crying.
pocket so you have a pocket rocket? Okay.
You leave us
Don't
alone
even-
for like 5 seconds, Geek. You see what happens?
Oh my
Dude.
god.
I had to leave. Good lord.
I'll check it out, Twisted. It's right up there with Pantheon. If you haven't checked out Pantheon,
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Hold up.
Actually, I think that was one that you mentioned to me.
Yeah.
yeah, right here. I've got a link for Pantheon as well. Pantheon, I did the Kickstarter to support it. The guy that's writing it
Yeah.
was one of the leads for EverQuest. You read EverQuest 1. They've done a couple of remakes of it. I've done some alpha testing on it. It is looking pretty freaking pimpin' phenomenal. So there's some stuff coming out, but if they have to do it right. I do like the fact that a lot of these games are saying, hey, we're not going to do class balancing. If you want to play a warrior, go play a freaking warrior. If you want to play a healer, go play a healer. Don't
Expect
a
yourself out to
healer-
the max and just god
Yeah.
roll yourself.
Yeah, don't expect that a healer is going to be able to go do melee hand-to-hand combat or something along those lines. So I think one of the things that people get away with too much is complaining that, well, this person kicked my butt and I don't like it. I'm going to go cry to mommy and daddy. Well, guess what? Roll a different freaking character. That's if you play a character and you find out it's not your style, go make a new character.
Top characters.
Switch it up.
Yeah, but that time investment we wasted.
Okay, well, that's a part of the game.
Yeah, but we're impatient millennials these days. Come
It
on.
begs down to the question of
Okay.
whose fault is that?
Okay, we're devs, but we're not. But hold on, we're not going to go down the Destiny train. But that's one of the biggest problems that I had with D2.
But we are.
We are. That's one of the biggest problems I had with D2 is that whenever the whole new, subclass system came out, they gave us 2 trees with, some synergistic little, subclasses. Like, dude, no. Like, I like being able to pick and choose what my character does, not have this set. But they dumbed it down so that it's easier for people. And
So
all
Destiny 2, so Destiny 1 subclasses, because those were significantly
Exactly.
easier and way more customizable.
Exactly, but we're done with that train now. I just had to get that out here. It made me so angry.
Well,
Dude, loot
Peaks is
in
talking
general.
about Bless Unleashed on Xbox.
Which
That's
one?
a big thing on the game.
Peaks. Peaks,
He's got the knowledge.
you are owning chat. Right?
Hey, since he's saying that about Bless Unleashed, that's actually kind of what Geek's been doing on PSO2 with a big sword.
Yeah. Dude, my play style when it's like if I like to be in the right up in the front, Give me big L. I don't like sword and board. Give me a two-handed sword, a two-handed axe. If you watch me play Dragon Age Origins, I'm doing a two-handed sword or axe or hammer.
So let me guess,
thing.
you made an orc character on Skyrim.
No, I made
The Nord.
a Nord, and he runs a two-hander. I think he's two-handed sword. I don't like the hammers because they're freaking slow in that game. But
oh yeah, they are.
But like in Warcraft, it was a dwarf. I would do a dwarf.
Oh, yeah, it is. I believe. I think they do have a founder's pack for it.
That's great.
If you want it.
Dead Souls. I did two-handers. Yep.
See, I was always the double-bladed character in
arm
any melee game I'm always either two daggers or
He's
two
a
one-handed
rogue.
swords. I'm a rogue to die.
Yep.
Like that was just always my best play style. Even in Divinity 2, we've been playing a hell of a lot of Divinity 2 recently, and I'm a rogue, just straight up rogue all the time. I can't do anything else. I don't know why.
Do you guys have a magician? Yep, I can't talk.
Magician.
Words are hard.
Do you have a mage with you in your party?
No.
Okay. I'm going to test 2 rogues and probably a melee. Like a... What is that? It's not a knight. I can't remember. I have to go look. I don't see knights
I would
playing
play
a rogue.
BDO, but I value
Yeah, no, but rogues are extremely powerful in Divinity.
Yeah. Well, they can hide and sneak really well.
This is true.
I've always played like the warlock sort of like magical character. I'm just a magical, the floofy dude.
Yeah, we noticed with your background.
Bro, look at that.
Still less purple than
Space
Angle
magic.
last week.
Yeah.
So.
Too bad warlocks are not the master race.
They are though.
Shots fired.
Wait, okay. First off, in order for warlocks to be the master race, that would mean they're different from the other classes. To me, every class is the same in Destiny right now. There's really no difference. Take away the punch, take away the special ability, and it's just guns.
Well, the reason why I'm loving, so I really don't want to hop on the D2 train, but the reason I'm
That's fine.
I'm loving playing Warlock right now is because of Top Tree Dawnblade. Dude,
Yeah.
that movement, like I'm out here juking the snot out of hunters, and Chris, popping off some crazy, plays with snipes and everything like that, popping the, Rising Flame or whatever. I don't remember, jumping out and around, going into like the place you're not supposed to be, coming around crazy angles. And that right there is what separates the Warlock class from the other two right now, is just that mobility and the movement freedom that you have vertically is insane.
I'm just to prove you wrong entirely, I'm just gonna send you a screenshot of my seasonal trackers with my Titan kills, my Hunter kills, and my Warlock kills. You'll notice there's a significant higher number of Warlock kills.
Oh, you're talking about as far as like the people that
Because you're little squishy people in your robes.
Well, okay, if you go PvE and you don't do the PvP realm, honestly, what's the point of having the designation between Titan, Warlock, and Hunter? What are you doing?
Titans, you can just throw on that one helmet and just run around meleeing everything and not have to worry about pulling out a gun.
You can do that with any
Well,
class.
I can do it Monte Carlo. So.
Yeah, I can do that
true.
with a Hunter. If I'm careful enough, I get 2 knives.
They're
Oh yeah, the
so,
the Ophidius
they're
thing,
so vanilla'd that there's really no
Bottom tree crit shot knives on Hunter, and there you go. I get infinite knives all the time, and it's a one-hit kill every time.
So
Yeah.
sad.
So
Look,
that's-
I mean, there's some gaps in the skill trees for some of the characters, right? Like Titans don't have a one-shot golden gun or a chaos reach, right? Equivalent.
Yeah,
from a
Titans
DPS
have a one-shot
perspective.
golden gun. Go to the missile.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't deal the damage like that. It's like they need to. I mean, you think that you say, all right. So if you're playing like something, you're DPSing the boss, you're gonna code of the missile that. You're telling me you're
Yes,
gonna
I
go
will.
out of the DPS phase and just code of missile the boss.
You are right. I will.
We call that the almighty ooze.
The big boost stick is what we call that.
Well, I mean, and the difference
Leroy.
is the Titan can get shot out of the air while the golden gun cannot.
Yeah, but I can
Oh,
get one shot by everything else, and that's the problem.
It's-
Like your shield is significantly higher than mine.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't think that rocking Goldie, you don't get any sort of damage.
Just said Missile Titan 100%. I do that on Sanctified Man.
This is a
It's
Missile
just
Titan.
the
This is
thing.
called Yeti.
Missile Titan,
Yeety,
not
dude.
to be confused with Peak's pocket rocket.
Twisted,
Oh,
if you're
man.
listening,
Yeah,
our
she
next
said it.
raid run
Uh,
has to do that on the Sanctified Mind. If you don't, you are kicked out of the fire team.
dude, that'd be so funny though.
Just
If you could pull it
next
off,
Missile Titans.
that'd make everybody laugh though. If you could
Well,
just make it ridiculous.
Think about it like this: imagine using Dawnblade on a
You can
raid
come
boss.
Yeah.
Nope.
Like there's supers that just don't belong. in
Yeah, no, you use
I think-
Kamahama Yeet and
I think it's
Kamahama.
yeah.
Kamehame. Yeet.
Yeet.
I think Destiny did a really good job at distinctifying like what supers can be used in PvE and what supers should not be used
Yeah.
in PvE. Like
Yeah.
I don't think
but-
I'll ever find myself using Blade Barrage in PvE.
But here's
Yep.
the thing. Why? Why is it like? I mean, okay. What's the point of having it then? I mean, and then all of a sudden you make those
This is
nerfs to
true.
PvP to make something better, and that cascade negatively
into the
out
P-
to regular gameplay.
Yeah.
And I'm sure everyone's noticed the statistics are there. 2/3 plus of the Bungie player base playing Destiny 2 don't give two craps about PvP.
Yeah, no.
This is true. And the 1/3 that does is just absurdly sweaty and doesn't want to leave
Well,
trials.
you've
for the
got
life of it.
1/3 that does care about it, has 1/3 of that, or 2% that are a bunch of freaking pansies that cry to mommy every 2 minutes because a gun killed them or something's not working right, and then they go to Twitter and a freaking social media and cry because they can't figure out how to counter the damn thing. Go watch Astrocross's videos. He'll tell you what's
Yeah.
going on. You know, he gets that out there and he says, well, if you got this, here's a counter thing to it. Instead of
I did
freaking nerfing the game, which he does call for some stuff in there, he at least says, hey, look, if you want to figure out how to beat it, here you go.
Twisted. So really fast, playing Gambit Prime a couple things like 2 or 3 weeks ago, had a person do that. I was inspecting my team whenever we were getting ready, and I saw this dude's rocking spectral blades. I'm like, okay, this guy's probably gonna want to invade. Nah, he saved his super for the primeval.
Nice. It stopped.
Dude, if you do it right, you can get 2 supers in before the primeval.
The worst one-shot weapon in Destiny right now is Beaver.
This
Yeah.
is
Sad
true.
truth about
This
that.
is so
though.
true.
Oh,
We'd gone like 3 weeks, I think, without Destiny talk. You could tell we were just like building up
Oh,
and needed
yeah,
to
a
like
little bit.
talk some Destiny.
The
It's
sad thing is,
pretty
I've played
brutal,
maybe
though.
30 minutes of Destiny in the last
Yep.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
I just haven't had time.
I stepped into trials once, got beavered, pretty sure I got DDoSed, and then there was a cheater. I'm like,
Thanks.
I have seen a lot of the uptick and everything where they thought that the protections they put in to help prevent the cheating from the laggers and everything else in the DDoS was going to help, but that's now more than ever they're having the aimbots.
like what
it's causing just-
Astacross said,
Yeah.
paywall.
Yep.
Paywall.
Yeah, I did.
I'm with
watch
that.
his video
Honestly,
earlier.
just wait for it because it's going to happen. It's
It
going to get
needs
to a
to.
point that enough people are going to say, listen, this has got to stop. I'm not going to play your game if every time I go in, I'm getting aimbotted in the head.
Well, the sad thing is that for I don't know if it's the first or the second week, there's only 300,000 people across all platforms playing Trials.
Yeah.
And the bulk of that was on PC and PS4. Xbox, most people are just they're not even really monkeying with it. But like that's an issue whenever this thing that's supposed to kind of be the saving grace of your game. You're not even.
Well, we were talking about this in our Discord a really long time ago. Is this season couldn't have just Trials as the main event and
No.
then survive.
Yeah.
Nope.
And the problem is that's exactly what they did.
I
It's
have,
not-
And it's a lull though. It
Big
is
I
a
haven't-
lull, right? Like we had 6 months of content.
I haven't unlocked one bunker yet, guys. Not one.
Now, no, and that's fair. I'd say like to put in kind of 2 cents on the bunkers, but more importantly, the mods. I finally got to a stage where I started being able to put a build together with some of the mods. I do wish we were able to get some of those mods a little bit quicker. In fact, it took me 3-4 weeks to kind of really get there is something, but the mods themselves do get a little more interesting, right? You do have to use the Seraph weapons to initiate them, and those like little balls that they spawn, the Warmind cells can like suppress, deal less damage to you and deal more damage to them with the full stack. So there's something there. They've shown maybe they carry those mods forward, but obviously that's not end game
I'll tell
content.
I'll tell you one good thing they did this entire season, and that's stop taking seasonal armor to only certain seasonal mods and just opening it to all the seasonal mods.
Yeah.
So now every armor piece I have can use every mod that has come out.
Yep.
That's it. That's the best part. That's the only good things with the game. And the summoner. The summoner's pretty good.
Nice.
The Trials auto rifle, that's really about it.
Well, okay, so really fast on Trials, I'm sorry. So you notice that so far all of the OP, if you will, guns have been game 3 rewards. 3-win rewards. The shotgun, the auto rifle.
Shotgun and the auto rifle are the only good ones.
That's what I'm saying. Wasn't Summoner also?
No, Summoner was
5.
Summoner was a 5-win.
Okay, regardless, but so they're setting all of the the good things at the beginning of the card. So you got.
Have you gotten to 5 wins?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. I literally hopped in once and I'm not getting in again until they fix it. Because
get to win 4, it gets bad.
But the thing is, there are these people, all the famous, streamers and YouTubers putting out videos. All right, this is what you do, just get to 3 wins. So you have all of, all the god roll people, the best top 1%, getting to 3 wins, then resetting their card, getting to 3 wins, resetting their card. And they're just raffle stomping everybody that's hopping in. It's like
raffle?
Right now, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Just absolutely.
Well, ironically enough, Bungie has now released this week's TWAB actually said that they're addressing those 2 things.
Yep.
For one, the loot, because they know it's not really worth it to go flawless anymore. I don't know if you guys have seen any of the loot from the rewards, but there's a perk you can get on your Trials weapons called Celerity. Yeah. That should have been an intrinsic perk on your flawless weapons.
Yep. If you're not going to give us adept weapons.
Yeah. That's what an adept weapon would have been. The adept weapon would have been with Celerity on your, flawless run. You would have gotten a gun that had that perk no matter what, and you had your other perk rolls. They didn't do that. They could have done that easily. That definitely would have peaked the loot pool for a lot of people instead of taking it out of the RNG.
I still think they need to unlock the restrictions and let the players build their own gun perks. If I want to use this combination, let me go use it. If I want to use this combination of my armor, let me go do it.
You talking about
just
how they did
Weapon
Armor
2.0.
Yeah.
Well, there's a problem with that. There's a really bad problem with that.
Which is?
If I go into Last Wish and I do the raid entirely, I get every gun from Last Wish. Why do I need to do it again? Why do I need to play
I don't need to do it
Trials
right
again?
now.
Well, yeah, but why play Trials again? Why play any of the new raids more than once?
Okay, so here's the thing. What they have done essentially right now is there's no incentive to go into Trials because you're not, everything, the treaters and all this stuff. There's no incentive right now to go into the game to do the raids because once you have everything, you're done. There's no real thing to go. But if you can make the activities more fun and you can try out, say, I can do this build with this guy this time around and try this perk and do this combination the next time around and finally start figuring out what really works and try to do different builds because you're not hindered or restricted on the perks and everything, then all of a sudden those activities, you've got replay.
Well,
and then you can add new perks. Instead of having to come up with new weapons, you can add new perks to the pool that you can go get from the raid. That's not going to take up a whole lot of space. I think that would be a solution.
But didn't they also used to have it to where you could what raid was that where there are the plates on the floor and you had to slam on them if you wanted to give everybody an
Callus?
No. No, this is D1. There are the plates on the floor. You bash them or whatever. Everyone would get a super.
Crota, King's Fall.
Was it King's Fall?
Glass.
It might have been King's. I don't remember. What
was the other raid? Crota, King's Fall.
Wrath of the Machine.
Wrath of the Machine.
It might have been that one. I don't know. I'm sure somebody in chat will know. But that, in the regular raid, you could do that. But then, in the prestige raid, that's what you had to do to actually be able to, DPS bosses. They could do things like that and make it to where, if you want to go a super sweaty raid, then, you could do that and give it replayability.
The one thing to say to those raids is make the raids like they were before. Your normal doesn't have a token, and your prestige would. More people would raid then.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, if you brought back raids that were like D1 raids, more people would raid in general. Because
how about we just go back and play Destiny 1, guys?
D1 raids were entertaining.
They were, and they weren't restricted by the forced. Oh, you have to have every person alive at the end of each encounter, or you're not going to make it. They're not enforced by puzzles, which I'm sick and tired of puzzles in a raid to make them
Oh, you don't
work.
like tethering and whatnot?
It's, get some originality here. I mean,
Oh man.
I mean,
My
at the
favorite
same
will
time,
still go
just
down
to
as Vault.
play devil's
Vault of
advocate
Glass
a
by
bit,
the
right?
time.
Like, there's 9, 10 raids, right? Like, originality and iteration are difficult things to thread the needle on, right? Like, how do you create 7 years, or 5
Right.
years, 6 years worth of content in raids as your company changes, as your staff comes and goes, right? Like, there aren't these constants. No game company could sustain that level of same quality originality.
right.
Problem
And
is, though, they don't need to do that. I as a diehard vet of Destiny, I have been playing since release of D1 and release of D2. I would be happy with bringing the old raids into the loot pool, bringing the old raid loot into the loot pool, and doing like a weekly throwback raid.
That would be dope. But
You don't need to go out and create like 9 million new raids to keep me happy or to keep us as general happy. Just bring us back the good stuff.
Or here's another idea. Instead of saying, this is what my development team said, why don't you actually take 5 minutes, go out to the forums and see all the suggestions that are out there, the plethora, some good, some bad,
Some
from the
really
community
bad.
that say, hey, look, try this out. Some of them are really interesting concepts. Make that a reality. And then there you
Imagine
go.
a
Content's
Destiny
out
community
there.
built raid.
Yeah, it's that would be freaking cool. Bungie needs
That would be
that'd
crazy.
Awesome. Ooh, that would get some. Oh, Bungie needs to do it. Bungie, if you're watching, you need to do this. Post on your boards, on your Twitter, everything. Hey, we want to develop a community-created raid. Everyone send your ideas here. We'll start hammering all the details out. And as they're developing and storyboarding and everything, involve the community on that one. Then people can't complain on it. I'd be loving to see what comes out of that. That would be freaking sick. That would be really, really sick.
Because it's just, I feel like the raid quality back then.
And if Twisted had his way, the boss would have a tutu.
The raid quality was just,
I like how nobody
Better.
objected that.
no.
we all know it's true.
Everybody's just like, yeah, it's true. Just let it roll.
Promise Bungie says they listen to us, but they don't. They literally said in their TWAB today, it said, your voices are heard. We
No,
know
are they, though?
No,
we
they're
are
not.
listening. No, they're not.
So
We know they're not.
okay, I'll play advocate on that one. They have $1 to make, and they're limited and all that stuff. I get all that, and they're
Eververse, they're making plenty of money.
You got to think 9-month development roadmaps, right?
Yeah.
Like,
But
I'm listening, and what a product is from any SaaS or game as a service company is going to take time. They are listening, but it's not fast enough. Where
having
it's
a few friends that do
developing what we
development,
want.
yeah, it's not that easy. But their engine's there, the mechanics are there, their framework is there, how to make a character move, aim, shoot, all this other stuff. Now it's a matter of give me an idea, get me a storyboard, get people thinking about and all on the same page. And if you can, in crowdsource, man, how big is the Destiny community that's passionate? A couple million players. If you get a fraction of those guys giving you decent ideas, and then take all those guys' ideas and throw them into 1 or 2 raids, there you go. You've got your content. But just
not
for
even that.
one
It's
raid.
not even just ideas either. Like actual graphics and community sourced art that I've
Oh
seen
yeah, fan art and stuff,
It's
man.
amazing.
Yeah.
is
I mean,
crazy.
we've seen
And-
the community do great things with even just the Saint 14
puzzle.
mission core.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like just
Quarters of
nuts
time.
stuff. Yeah.
Twisted.
If we can make all this beautiful art and all these beautiful raid ideas, why don't you just start crowdsourcing from your community? The bulk of the people that are going to pay for your DLCs and keep you a company,
Mhm.
Yeah.
start asking them what they want. Because they listen to people. Granted,
Well,
they
like,
primarily listen to the
You
streamers.
can say, like, we can say they need to do this, they need to do that, but in the end, we've had other games that have done the same thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not just saying it's just them. It's as years pass on that we've played it, we all get tired of playing
Mhm.
the same
Well, it's
stuff.
just like, okay, you 7 years of Destiny. Yeah, it's for the amount of money I've invested, I've gotten a lot of play value out of it. And seeing where it's going now is really just kind of disappointing, seeing where it's been at its peaks.
no
But
pun
it's
intended.
just no peaks, no peaks.
But it needs those big fall releases
but
is where it's at. Like
if they want to avoid stuff like like World of Warcraft getting stale and stagnant. I mean, you look at things like that. This isn't 10 years ago where there were very little competition out there. This isn't years ago when the consoles were, not cross-save and all that conversation wasn't there. And the players were more at the mercy of what their game platforms were going to release. Now we're today where cross-play is not a hope, it is a reality, And then we're talking about last week, we talked about this week. Give me the Nerve gear. We've got VR and things are moving along with that one. Eventually, you give it 5 or 6 years, maybe 10 more. Where are we going to be technology-wise? And this whole concept, I mean, it still drives me nuts that we have exclusive games on platforms when I think the reality of the situation is, hey, developer, I get that they're making the money, the sponsorship's there, so they're going to do an exclusive because that's how they're ultimately getting the funding. But how much are they losing out when you've got certain games that are coming out like Final Fantasy VII? People are really wanting it to be available on the PC. They're not even asking for Xbox. Just give it to me on the PC because I don't want to be locked into a PS4. The honest goodness truth, if you got rid of PS4's exclusivity and let the players, I know like a huge
Persona 5 too, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you let me play that on PC, and I think this is what Sony's really afraid of, what is their player base drop going to be like?
Massive.
I mean, I'm not talking about PS4 versus Xbox. I'm talking, let me play on a PC.
Persona is probably the real reason I only play on my PlayStation.
Well, I mean, like, even just with the most recent thing that came out, as far as like, for whatever reason, Sony, PlayStation got Modern Warfare 2 Remastered Campaign almost a whole month before I'm going to be able to get it on Xbox. It's like, that's bar none my favorite Call of Duty game ever. And I have zero desire to have a PlayStation, like absolutely none. So I'm going to have to wait a whole month before I can even get to play my favorite game ever. Yeah. I don't know. Like you said, the whole exclusives, it's just...
When I was talking to Jay and I was looking up...
Right, Twisted?
Final Fantasy VII.
I would love to play Persona 5 on PC.
Yeah, the graphics, I could only... Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, and 44 hertz.
Dude,
yeah, that's what I'm thinking about, man. It'd be great.
But, I mean, I was reading the forums for Final Fantasy VII, and people were like, this is bull... I mean, I can't use some of the language that was read there since we're trying to stay teen-friendly. I mean, it was bad. Right. They're like, oh, we're going to do this so we can make more money again in a second wave or anything. But the reality of the situation, there's a lot of people out there that are pissed off enough. They're just like, I'm either going to wait or just because they don't want to listen to me, I'm not even going to buy it. So what's the percentage of people that they could have had buying the game that aren't buying it because of the exclusive deal? I mean,
a lot. Really fast, I want to shout out all of our Australian viewers because they are out there. Shout out to you, Australia. Straya. Howdy. Sorry, just got a message. I had to.
Okay.
Well, dude, think about it like this. I know I'm a Marvel fan. I don't know about you guys. I love Marvel. I've loved
Snowflake
Spider-Man.
and Safe Space.
I've loved Spider-Man since I was a kid.
Yeah.
How many of us wanted to play the new Spider-Man game?
I did.
I totally would buy it if it was.
If it was on PC, I would buy it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, my son and I got it for the PS4. That was the last game before Persona 5 and Final Fantasy 7 got. I love that game, and I could if it was on freaking PC, man. Oh my gosh, they did such great job with the graphics.
Oh yeah,
it would be.
I can't even imagine what the PC gameplay would be like.
It'd be so phenomenal. Yeah. So by them doing that, Pink News, Marvel Comics, Snowflake. What is this? Non-ban.
Marvel. So I'm sorry, he brought it up. It's something I saw there. Marvel is releasing 2 new Marvel characters called Snowflake and Safe Space. Look it up.
Is this gonna piss me off?
Oh, probably.
Dude, look at it later, geek.
Dude, no, I want to see
look at the rage in his face. It's building. You can see the tension.
Yo, I'm telling you right now.
What the hell is this?
Yeah, dude. It's like it has like
even
those communities
say something about Persona coming to PC. That'd be
either they're trolling really hard.
Nope. 100% legitimate.
Okay. I don't get political. I'm not going to go on political topics. Stop forcing agenda on people that want to go play games and escape the reality of the BS. Let me go shoot stuff. Let me swing a sword. Let me make a superhero. I want to make the damn super. And I'm going to shut up before I say something.
Okay, but hang on here. So these new Marvel characters, though, this is not like it's like a mainstream thing. This is a New Warriors reboot. So this isn't like they're. I mean, this seems like a safe space for this. I don't know. I mean, I get it's different, but is that really a bad thing?
No, it's not a bad thing. It's just like what Geek said is that they're pushing an agenda. We could talk about, even in just the most recent movies that Marvel has produced, the A-list movies. I'm not going to start saying names and get doxxed or whatever, but like there's a very clear agenda that they're pushing, and I am Marvel 150 trillion%. But whenever you start pushing agendas and shoving things in my face, never like Geek said, I'm just trying to escape the reality of this world that we're living in right now.
Here's the other thing. You had a bunch of movies from Marvel start getting canceled. You had budget cuts and everything else. Several of their comic book lines have gotten cut, and when they've tried this stuff before,
it didn't work.
It's what point? Let's go back to the Bungie conversation. Listen to your fan base, man. Listen to the community. I ain't gonna buy this for my kids. It's my job as a parent to teach and to raise and show personal respect and to teach them that everyone's equal and fair and not to judge. I'm not going to have some comic book teaching that. I'm not going to have some, no. That's a whole different political conversation, not meant for this channel.
New subject, guys. What's next, Otto?
Yeet.
Let's stick with the remakes.
I do have a question for Otto, though, since you put it on there. What is the Pokemon Go indoor news?
Ooh,
Please.
Yeah.
I'm curious. My kids play it. What is that?
What you got there, Otto?
I thought that was coming from you guys. We can move on though. I don't have anything too specific.
Oh,
on that
wait,
one.
what?
You thought you had some.
Pokemon Go. I thought that was you.
They changed.
Yeah, I mean, I
they
think
changed
that
the way that you play it. You don't have to go out to battle.
You used to have to travel around and
Right.
walk
So
around.
right for like
With
the
problem-
social indoor isolation
with
thing,
with
right?
the
They
human
changed some of the
malware
gameplay
problem.
stuff.
That
What?
and they've come up with skills for people who are being lazy and sitting at
killer.
home just swiping up Pokeballs.
Well, I
Twisted.
do know. Just doing a
thought we were
Google, I
friends.
do know that one guy got arrested by the cops. They stopped him and arrested him because he was out and about playing Pokemon Go.
I would let that man catch that Eevee. What are you doing?
Right? But the question
Free
is,
my-
Pokemon Go
dog.
was huge though.
yeah,
Like when Pokemon Go had a massive player base, there was people wandering around at like 3 a.m. in my town catching Pokemon.
dude, our downtown
Wow.
Wiley, man, the church downtown, there was a church down there. They set up water bottles. It's Texas. It was hot middle of the summer. You could get water and all sorts of stuff, and it was a stop because there was a Pokemon stop right there.
Oh yeah.
And so I know it's big, and my kids loved it, and they still walk around. But so is Pokemon Go indoor mean like it's going to rotate through, and you have a chance of having like a whole different plethora of Pokemon
Different
in your house?
Pokemon to catch, and then you don't have to go to the different arenas to battle people. There, I don't.
I think you now can do it from your house.
Exactly.
Like
You
everything
don't
you
have
used to
to
be able to
be
do at a
there.
distance, you could do it from your house. Actually, Geek, I can one up you on Pokemon Go stories. When it used to be really big, there was a park in my town,
Why does this not surprise me?
and they were really big on enforcing curfew in the area of this town. So anybody caught out like playing Pokemon Go, they just be like, get home. But this one cop would sit at a Pokestop. It was a Pokemon gym, and it was like the biggest gym in the area, and he would sit at this gym and do traffic. So anybody out past a certain time, he wouldn't let you in the park unless you were on his Pokemon team. So remember, it was like Team
That is
Red,
awesome.
Team Yellow, and Team Blue.
Oh,
If you weren't Team Yellow, you were kicked out of the park and sent home.
I love that. Hey, I was Team Yellow because Sam's
Hey,
favorite
so
color
was
is
I.
yellow. Let's
We
go.
were yellow. We were yellow.
Heck yeah, dude.
All the good
Yellow
players were
represent.
yellow.
We were
All the good players were yellow.
What?
Does that count as a shout out?
Yeah. Shout out Sam, guys.
Hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
They're all saying hi. But no, so really fast, the only reason I ever played Pokemon Go is because the kids loved it. And at
fun.
the installation where
You
I
can't
train
tell me
at,
that wasn't a fun game.
I honestly just like bouncing the Pokeballs off their heads. Like that was my favorite part. I was like, doink, like that's my favorite part. But at
Guys,
the
why do we
installation that I
keep them
train
around?
at, yeah, because I
Pretty
y'all
much.
eat things. And so at the post headquarters, there there's like this old school like anti-aircraft tank and then like a little bitty scout type tank, and that was a Pokestop or whatever. And I'm not even kidding. Like, whenever we go do PT and I go run like 12 miles for no reason, I'd carry my phone with me and spin the stop every time we pass by it.
How did the private die, sir? He was playing Pokemon Go and got run over by a tank.
I had mad ultra balls and all sorts of little power ups and stuff because I just
middle of a gunfight. You have heard like, sir, shoot back. No, there's a Blastoise. Hold on.
There's a Blastoise.
Throw a ball.
Or it would be like, stand by.
Stand by.
Let me catch this Pokemon real quick.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they
gotta feed him the raspberry. Hold on.
Well, the game got so big, they actually created a piece of tech for it that was like a little Pokeball that you could just throw to catch it.
Yeah.
It was the greatest thing.
They need to bring
honestly,
that back.
I'm kind of sad that game died. That was so
It's still got a decent following from what I understand.
Oh, yeah. Well, now they have the Harry Potter one.
I can tell you right now, too, when we were over in Japan, we took and played it over there because there's Pokemon that you can only get over there.
Mm-hmm.
And when we went to, they were telling us about it. We hadn't really thought about it. And we went to the Pokemon Center. And they had something there. And my niece, somebody translated it for us. Yeah, well, there's stores called Pokemon Centers, okay? Now, if you guys know what this is, okay, my son loves Pokemon, and so does my daughter. A Pokemon Center, the one that we went to, is roughly the size of a Walmart.
Oh.
I am not kidding you.
Bruv.
Wow.
That is beautiful.
Yeah,
that is
all
amazing.
Things Pokemon. And they do live shows.
Tell me they had the food that looked like Pokemon's food. Because I can't tell you how many times I wanted to try that stuff.
Yeah, dude.
They had some candies and snacks and stuff that looked like it, but you could get.
You said candy.
Yeah,
ankles down.
Yeah, they had socks and shirts and underwear and hats and costumes. They had every single kind of card. My kid came back with 2 sets of cards, and everyone asked him where he got all those Pokemon because they're really cool. And they have to use the Google Lens to translate it when they're playing with them because they're all in Japanese, but they're perfectly legal and they're really powerful. So they had all sorts of stuff, all sorts of different stuffed animals. This is where I learned, okay, so they have these plushies, right? Everyone knows what a plushie doll is. I had no idea until I went to Japan that there was both a male and a female Pikachu. And that in order to tell the difference is the Pikachu tail, if it's male, is straight on the end. And if it's a female, it's got a little arc cutout in it. And that I was just like, what?
Huh.
I didn't know that. I honest to God didn't know that.
So really, oh, my bad. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead, man.
I was just saying, so on this whole, the vein of, like Pokemon Go and like those sort of like, games where you kind of go out and about, there's a game that I used to play. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't done it in a long time, but it's called, see if I can get it in there. Ingress Prime, INGRESS space Prime, PRIME. And it's like one of those games where, you pick a team or whatever, and you have to, it's almost like geocaching. I don't really know, but like, honestly, I feel like that's a vein of game that could really take off.
Yeah.
But people give up on it too fast. Like, Pokemon Go, like you said, it used to be huge. It still has a following, but it's, I used to
not
work
what
at
it once was.
Yeah. I used to work at the university, and, like there's like all sorts of battle arenas and Pokestops left and right. And, but I, went back and looked not too long ago, and it's like those things have all just kind of died out. And it's like, it's a
that happens with like, tech stuff these days, right? Like even like House Party is a big app right now. Like I'm sure that that's going to be big for like quarantine, but it's not going to be here in like a year, something like that. Like, but that's the kind of what happens with tech, right? Stuff kind of
is trending, right? But how stupid people are being lately, it might be here for more than a year.
Right?
That's true. True.
It's going to be interesting to see what games are developed over the next like 3 or 4 months as people are stuck in lockdown. Because if we think that this is going away anytime soon, China just went on a second round of lockdown and everything. Walmart's posted all this stuff about how they're going to let people into the stores.
5 at a time.
Yep, 5, and enforcing flow in their aisles and everything. It's gonna be really different.
I saw it first person 2 days ago. Sorry, we're not.
Yeah, it's fine.
It was so bizarre. I was driving through the parking lot. I was just looking for a restroom to use, and there's like a line of like 50 people. Yeah, out the door. Like standing. Now. Yep. 10, 15 feet apart with someone there, like, you can't come in yet. Hold on, wait for people to walk out, and then they'd send however many people walked out in. It's just so bizarre.
So you got to think about it. Like, everybody has a lot of downtime now, so this could either mean a really good thing or a really bad thing for gaming. Well, like, we could have a lot of great games coming out just because no one has anything better to do, so they have all these ideas.
Yeah,
and I'm afraid that people may reach burnout.
Well, you're gonna see people going through
Hey,
games that they
Spider,
haven't
what
played
up?
in a long time. Like we talked about last week, Verizon said 75% game network
Yeah.
increase. We're
Yeah,
seeing that
that's-
across the
that-
board.
that's
Discord
good.
crashed even with a 20% capacity increase. Yeah, like all
Yeah,
sorts
so
of-
It's not like
you're
we're
gonna-
all using Discord. Or
Yeah,
anything.
people are going to start flipping through games and cycling through, finding stuff they like and they don't like. So you're going to see a resurgence of retro games. You're going to see a resurgence of games that were once popular and not. You're going to see a lot of resurgence of people complaining about certain games because nothing's changed. So it is.
Yeah, and they're overplaying them, and
They're playing them anyway, and they're still
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
complaining
This
something about
sucks, man.
15 years old.
No.
So I do want to jump in and kind of take that thread of like some old games that we might be playing here too, because there was some, 2K collections coming to Switch May 29th.
Yeah.
So I want to see if because there's one of these games in particular, something that I might be interested in, but Borderlands collection, BioShock collection, XCOM collections.
BioShock, I'll get that.
Bioshock.
That's what I was
Fortune,
thinking too.
Borderlands can-
I'll BioShock that
Definitely
hell out of it.
He was like, I'll
Right?
just tell you straight up.
I need a break from Animal Crossing. I'm not gonna lie.
Jay, what were you saying there? What was your answer?
No, I agree with what he said.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
was
I mean, I
that
like too that the
Borderlands-
Yeah.
BioShock's going to be also sold individually too, so you can grab some of the individual games. What would be the BioShock game that you guys go for? 1, 2, or Infinite?
Infinite.
Nice.
Yep. I liked.
That story stuck out to me the most,
Yeah.
for sure.
It was. They had the most development. I think they focused more on the story. I mean, you can't. BioShock, the original, laid everything down, and I think they did a really decent job with that one. And I think Infinite did a better job of picking up on it instead of BioShock 2. BioShock 2 was more for sales.
Yep.
Luckily, it was nowhere near as bad as what they did with the Fallout series, which today is still asinine.
The Fallout
Oh.
series will forever be a rip because they ruined that one on their own.
Yeah. Fallout 4 was pretty great. And,
Bring us back to New Vegas and then we can talk.
I was about to say, give it time, right? Like I could see them like going quiet for 2 years and then coming back with
They
something
did
that's
that,
like
though.
traditional.
They did that, and that was
did
with
that
70.
in
That was the problem. They did that, and that's what gave us that
Here's
monstrosity.
what they need to do.
Okay.
They need to forget about all that crap, put the bare minimum
was like,
on
no,
live
Dad.
support for it. They've got one opportunity to get their name out of the mud. One opportunity to get themselves set up and reestablished as a prominent and quality AAA developer.
The issue
if they
is that they
screw
need to
up
stop
the new
using
Elder
the-
Scrolls, they're
Yeah.
done.
The thing is that they are so stuck in using the old engines that they use. That's why Fallout 76 it flopped. I mean, on top of the other issues that plagued it.
we
But
know why Fallout
yeah,
flopped, and it was very
was it
obvious.
Todd Howard or whatever. But it's like they're so stuck on using this old engine that just does not. Like Skyrim still to this day is buggy as all get out. I've put thousands of hours. I love that game. I will forever
You
love
can't
Skyrim.
tell me the bugs weren't the greatest thing about Skyrim. That
Partially.
I could climb a mountain with a horse. Tell me how side crawling a mountain
Riding on a horse.
with a horse. It made no sense, but that's why it was so much fun to play because it was so stupid. You were just sitting there like trying to find the littlest ledge
to
of
kind of
textured ability
Yeah.
to just climb
Killer.
up on, and you couldn't do it.
I like Borderlands 3. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed it.
I've never I tried playing Borderlands one time, fired it up, and I was just like, this is so nuts.
You need to play
Really?
with a
You didn't play
friend.
it like co-op or anything like
Co-op
that
Co-op
too?
is so much more fun.
Blech.
I mean,
Did
it's different, but I don't know if I've ever heard somebody that anti Borderlands. Like Borderlands has been like
Dude,
kind of like a
I-
safety
It's
series
got
in a way.
It's got a very like acquired taste combat.
Exactly. It's
So,
and I did.
I like it.
Enjoy
And,
it.
Yeah, it's a very
didn't enjoy
odd
it.
combat. So it's I mean, yeah, it still is a looter shooter like every looter shooter, but
Yeah.
the combat mechanics are a little funky sometimes, especially that some of your guns you can literally, when it runs out of ammo, just throw it and it explodes.
Yeah.
Like, when has that
Have you-
ever been a thing in another game?
I don't know. The
that-
graphics, the gameplay, I could not get into it at all, like at all. But then again, I'm coming from the background of, like I kind of grew up on the Call of Duties, the Medal of Honor, Rising Suns, and things like that. So I'm used
I'd
to
agree
that
with you
sort
on
of
that one, buddy.
aesthetic. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do like the fact, like, what was the my brain just went blank on it. They just did the demo on it where he threw the boot and did damage.
Oh yeah, you're talking about that
Oh.
PC game.
Boulder's Gate. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I can't wait
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, that's
Seeing
what
that,
you're
man,
talking
that was just like, and the fact that it's going to be co-op as soon as that's out. Yeah. If you
Or what was it? Was it GTA or Hitman that had the briefcase as a weapon
Yeah,
Hitman?
that sounds right.
that you could just throw and it would track people and then eventually kill them by smacking them in the back
Dude,
of the head?
Baldur's Gate. I'm just saying, whenever that releases,
Elder.
Baldur. Whenever that releases,
What are you, Canadian,
I'm disappearing to the world.
For Twisted to comment.
Like, hey, listen.
Oh man.
He in the frozen tundras
Twisted
of the
is
North.
about to leave a response. It's like a paragraph
Dude,
for her.
but yeah, I'm gonna be just over here sucked in. But dude, I cannot wait for that game to come out. I'm so excited.
You know, Hurt's gonna get it, and we're gonna be like, "Has anyone seen Hurt?" He's gonna get on. He's gonna have a beard like this.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And I don't have any
I'll be
military
for
training
that.
for 4 months.
And the fact that I know already that they've come out when they were doing the presentation, they made the comment it's going to be on all platforms at the same time. And because it's not a first-person shooter, I do believe, if I understand the developer notes, it is going to be cross-play, not just cross-save, so we can actually all team up no matter what platform.
It's time. It's time for crossplay in general.
Yes.
Like, let's go. More games. Let's 2020.
So real quick, since we're getting later on, I did want to touch on the stuff that happened to Mesa. And there's been a lot of stuff and a lot of comments about it. First off and foremost, this was something that is very serious, and doesn't need to be laughed at, doesn't need to be downplayed or anything like that. It was a very targeted attack, and it did take its toll on him. There's been comments made about why doesn't he get someone to hack him back and everything else. Let me explain some few concepts on that one. In my industry, I don't know any of my peers that would actually do that. There are some law enforcement teams that
like
will
reverse hack.
Yeah, and this isn't the movies. There are some law enforcement agencies that'll do that kind of role play, social engineering kind of thing to go track those hackers down and do some reverse tracking. It's very specified. It's not something I would recommend doing specifically. Getting around to what's this specific group that did the attacks, that's not something I would go after. Their resources are pretty significant. They were able to hide themselves very, very well and obfuscate exactly what they were trying to accomplish and the code to get around detection pretty easily. But I put in the video, and we put a link. I put a bunch of links down there for those. Go out there, practice safe practices. Don't click on everything that comes to you. Just because you have antivirus doesn't mean you're covered 100%. Just because you you do this or that, or you have two-factor, doesn't mean you're protected. He had all of that stuff. Okay, the vulnerabilities that transact and all that are very specific. It depends on us to be security minded, to not let things like happen. So I would not. It wouldn't even go on those kind of thought trains. Just practice safe stuff. Get a decent antivirus program. Go get yourself two-factor authentication. Get yourself if you want to run people. This one drove me nuts too, people. VPN is not endpoint protection at all. It doesn't scan. It doesn't do malware detections or anything. It just encrypts your data between 2 points, so it's not in clear text, and keeps it from being easily read by bad actors or threat actors, as we call them. You need two-factor authentication on your endpoint to help secure your accounts. You need antivirus. You need you can even have phishing filters if you have a pro email account, which most of us don't. Things like that. Just be careful on what you click on. Never click on anything that's asking for your credentials. Just safe stuff.
Could I ask you 2 questions?
Yeah.
If you think you've been compromised or you've clicked something vulnerable, or you see yourself getting hacked, right? What do you do? What is your kind of go-to to unpack something like that?
If I think my box is got, I unplug.
Okay.
I do not shut down. I unplug. If I'm on a wireless, I'll make sure I shut down the wireless card. But I'll disconnect from the network. I don't unplug because I need to see what's going on. And now, that being said, that is me. I know exactly what I'm going to go look for. I know that I can run some tools that I have in my box. I can do a memory dump. I can do analysis on my running processes and some behavioral analytics and things like that aren't readily available. But if you think that you've been hacked, first thing, the box that you believe you're compromised on, shut it down, get it off the network from a non-compromised device, such as maybe your mobile device, a laptop, or something else. Go in, immediately go to all of your accounts and change the passwords. No ifs, ands, or buts. Go change your passwords, banking passwords, and everything. So many people out there leave, and if you type an F, and you don't have to, but I bet you majority of the people here that are watching this or people watching YouTube have saved their password in their browser so they don't have to type it in. For Google, for whatever it might be. They've just saved their username and password. I just want to go right into it. I don't have to click my username or password for any of that stuff. Yep. Luckily, banks won't let you do that. So, don't do that. My browser's set up. It's annoying for some. My wife gets a little annoyed by it. I close my browser. It clears my history, clears my cache, clears passwords. I never store anything password. It's forbidden on my systems. I don't do it. But if I do get compromised, most of those people out there, go change your username and password. Not your username, but at least change your password. And if you don't have two-factor authentication, go turn on two-factor authentication.
Definitely.
That's the first thing to do.
Second question too. I feel like mobile can sometimes be. Sometimes it can be like looked over. Like, what would you recommend for a good like mobile antivirus or something like that too?
You want to know the honest to goodness truth for a mobile device for security? There isn't really. I'm going to be straight up honest. With as popular as mobile phones and tablets are, you would think that there would be better products for it. There are a handful out there.
I use secure VPN from Norton on mine.
Again, that's not anti-malware.
No, well, no, but then I also have the
Norton. But so like the Android phones, one of the things I was on a forensics lunch earlier today, and we asked the question what people thought, because people were saying now that Linux might actually be the most open and vulnerable platform. It's hearsay. You know what the weakest link is, and of everything out there, is the end user. Mm-hmm. I can get you to click on something, I'm gonna own you. If I can trick you into installing it and circumventing all the security stuff you put on a box, I'm going to own you. And if I can hide it so it's not detected, like again what got Mesa, it didn't get detected by URL scanner or virus total is malicious from those sites. It didn't get picked up by antivirus applications as malicious or any of that. What it did is it was specifically looking for his account, his email ID and everything. And if it wasn't that or a series of other sets of targets, it wasn't triggering and was just acting like normal software. And because it's such a huge file, the hash file is not something that most antiviruses are going to look at. They used a really big install file. Most malicious files are under 5 megs. This one was half a gig, okay? So having to go through that takes a long time. So be leery. If you didn't ask for it, you didn't download it, you're getting persisted by it, and they won't leave you alone, don't do it. It's better to be on the safe side and walk away. And then, it's okay. Honestly, when it comes to mobile devices,
just connect to Wi-Fi.
Two-factor authentication is your best friend, and not clicking on everything under the sun. I wish to God that mobile had better security platforms. MDM, as it's called, still is in its infancy stages as phones get more and more popular and we do more and more business on them.
Wild, yeah.
SaaS programs for CASB, kind of a cloud security-based minded security, is something that's still developing to be watched for behavioral analytics. And that's enterprise-wide. For the end user, the home user, residential user, I wish there was better stuff for it. My phone, there's nothing really on it. I don't open links. I don't download stuff. I play a couple games on it and everything. But I typically really, if I want to play something, if I want to look at something, I want to investigate something, I'm going to my computer. And if it's something I know that could possibly lead me to bad stuff, I load a virtual machine. You can go to virtualbox.com, get it for free. I run VMware Workstation Pro and VirtualBox on my MacBook. I run Fusion. I never run anything live. If I'm testing or installing and go to VM, even in this case for like what happened to Mesa, you could run it in a VM and it went through just fine without being detected. It was that. So, I mean, there's different levels of sophistication, different levels of attacks. Everyday stuff that's going to hit most home users is just phishing and generic kind of things. Nothing super. They just want your identity to steal your credentials or steal your identity and credit card banking information. But like things that hit Mesa had a much bigger end game goal and would be what we would call a state sponsored or much larger sponsored attack vector group that have a lot more resources. So it just depends. That one, it was a really interesting use case. Unfortunately, it happened to a good friend, and I wish it didn't. But it does go to reinforce that you need to. That's your cousin, Twisted. Don't be dissing on your cousin.
Yeah, and Geek, you've been posting some good content in a couple of the Discord channels in particular. Gaming and security is one for folks in the Discord, and then in the general tab too. I think you posted a couple here, but keep that kind of stuff coming. I was watching some of the VPN videos earlier today too. Even just like understanding how that technology works more, right, is helpful.
Sans did I'm a huge Sans advocate. If you can't tell. The forensic lunch I did, most of those guys that were attending, I think they had like 90 people on it. Most of those guys are Sans instructors, developers, people that work in the industry every day, across different vendor platforms and everything. Getting to be able to interact with those people on a regular basis and mentor with them is such an amazing thing. If you guys really want to talk about cybersecurity sometime, hit me up. I go on it for an hour or hours on end, and this is not the platform for it, but I could go geek.
Literally.
Yeah.
Go full geek.
But yes, if you got questions, let us know. There's a video out there, links, the whole 9 yards. And again, I want to say this completely honest. Doesn't matter what platform you're on, how much security you layer on, you're never 100% safe. Nothing you can do about it.
Fair enough. So guys, was there any PC news, like kind of build stuff like that we want to touch on this week? The Ryzen 4900. You guys want to touch on that briefly?
That's Angle all day.
Yeah, Angle. Take it away.
Actually, excuse you, Hurt. You were the one who were going nuts about
I'm so excited, dude. I'm so happy for AMD. Because
first preface for the uninitiated Xbox only user here. What is the Ryzen 4900?
Just a second. Sorry.
You want me to do it?
Yeah, go for it. Sorry, I'm
Okay, so Ryzen, the AMD has been knocking it out of the park. I mean, if Intel thinks that they got a chance to come up for some air and have a little bit of breathing room, they can guess wrong. Because Linus Tech Tips did a really good video on the new Asus Zephyrus G14, which is not available just yet. Okay, it should be in a month or two. But it's got the new Ryzen 4900 mobile in it, right? Which is a different processor. And they were thinking originally that it wasn't going to be able to compete as well with the i9s and stuff in the gaming platforms. But it kicked the crap out of them and used a fraction of the power, like half the power usage. And so that means if you use less power, less temperature, less cooling issues, you didn't have to have fans spinning up and everything else. And yeah, the one that they had sent to Linus had a lesser graphics card in it. I think it was like equivalent of like a 1660 or something. But when you go read Asus's forums in their press releases and everything, that Zephyrus G14 is going to have a couple different models to it. And I've been wanting to get a new laptop that I can take around with me, that's got powerful enough where I can VMs in it, that I can do gaming on it, I can do analysis and everything. And I you know what? That sucker, I'll take it over an i9 or an i7. It is a powerhouse beast, and the fact that they're going to offer the ability to get, I believe, a 2060 in it, or even maybe the mobile 2080 Ti.
See, the reason I am so excited about it is because for the longest time, Intel really didn't have any competition, so they spoon-fed, technology leaps. Whereas, they'd like slowly introduce something, like let that fester on the market for a while, and then they'd, give like the very little baby step next. And then here comes AMD, and they're like, you know what? Here, we're going to jump 10 feet ahead of you and say catch up. So,
well, I don't know. Did you see the i9 release? They released the i9, and then they released like 35 other versions of the i9.
It's the same thing, just repurposed specifically for a specific task. And it's like people are asking me why my new system was a 3950X instead of an i9 since I'm using it for gaming. I'm also streaming from that box. And I don't like having multiple systems running, and not with the technology as it is now. there's more cores, and the AMD chip, while the i9 you can overclock it easier and get that to 5 hertz much easier.
5
which
hertz
gives you. I shouldn't have said it.
Get to yourself.
You know, I do have I want my box to multifunction. I'm gonna make most bang for my buck, get the most out of my investment. And the fact that I can run OBS and I can stream and use multiple cores and still not press my box.
Yeah.
I can't beat that. I really can't. And I think Intel needs to get past the mindset of a single functional chip and really start looking at the future, because by the time they got to get the nano size down, they've got to get functionality down, they got to get power consumption down. AMD really did come out and hit it out of the ballpark on this one.
Love it. I love a good underdog story.
I am curious to see what direction, because NVIDIA is kind of like the big daddy of them all. AMD Ryzen's starting to come out there, the Radeon stuff. It'll be interesting to see where that goes. But what's that, Peak? Since we're talking PC parts, what GPU? Well, they did a couple series on that. You have the 2600. Which motherboard do you have, Peaks?
I think that was his issue. Wasn't it? Was his motherboard last time?
No. He's just his video card. He upgraded everything but his video card.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
what's
I
your
remember
budget,
talking
dude? Do you
about
want
it
a
while
couple
back.
$100? Or do you want $1,000?
Oh, it's Peaks. You know he's balling.
$1,000, definitely.
$3 grand. Just throw 3
For that
stacks at
box,
it.
dude. Honest to
Like
God,
Andre.
the 1660 Super for a 350 would probably do you just fine. For gaming, getting decent frame rates. Now, if you want to stream from it, it could still do it. I wouldn't say you're going to game at 1440 and stream at 1080.
Peaks.
Oh man.
For audio listeners, Peaks
Twisted,
nice
you and the
fat government
Titan,
check.
man. You and the Titan, bro.
Man.
That's
He
a
said,
whole
"Get a
different
$1,200 check."
whole different price tag.
Yeah. Not all of us are rolling like Twisted over here.
Yeah,
Come
dude,
on,
honestly,
now, guy.
Peaks, if you want to, for that system you're running, I would go with the 1660 or a 2060. Don't go blowing, $1,200-1,300 on a graphics card on that box. I honestly, the B550, I would definitely do it like a 1660 or the 2060. I wouldn't go all out on a 2080. Not on that board.
Yeah.
Oh, socialist. I know nothing.
I kind of love that comment though, like, because it's, I don't know, it's and we're not going politics.
Yeah. No. Let's
No, we're
let's
just gonna
stop
leave
that
it right there. No, just leave it there. We'll stop.
Yeah, we're good.
Guys, any other PC build news? PC kind of talk like that. Where we
If only
currently
the
looking
RTX
at
Titans
Zydax.
weren't so much money.
What was that, Angle?
I said if only the RTX Titans weren't so much money.
Well,
just
here's
ask
the thing.
Twisted. He'll get you one.
Okay, so Twist and I've had a few conversations on this one. Jay's 2 Cents and Bitwit both did videos on it, and it's a really interesting technical read if you go down and you start getting into it. Because when I built the new box, I was very interested in all this. When it comes to multifunction, if you're not just going to be gaming and streaming, but if you're actually going to be doing like graphics development and rendering and everything else, that's when the Titan's really going to shine. But for most of us that are just gaming and or streaming, that 2080 Ti, not only does it overclock better, it's going to outperform the Titan in that aspect. Believe it or not. So you can go spend $5,000 on a card, or you can spend $1,200 on a card, or for that matter, you can spend $2,400 on 2 cards, SLI them together, and throw them in a box for the price of one Titan. It really depends on what your use case is going to be. Are you developing? Are you game engine? Are you going to be designing the game? Or are you going to be playing the game?
He said that's me being a troll.
You're always a troll.
Yeah.
Have you seen your picture? You look like a troll.
We've been feeding the troll.
Just kidding, dude.
Wow.
Love you, Twisted.
Oh wow. All right then.
It's like,
Rip.
Good Lord.
no, Twisted's
Rip
good.
Twisted.
Twisted's good people. Hey, now it's only 3,000. Yeah.
Actually, Geek, I
34.
think this question's aimed
Reasonable.
at you from Peaks.
Would that be worth the
I can
upgrade?
get a 1660 Ti for a friend for like 200.
Go read the difference. The
Yeah.
1660 Ti versus the 1660 Super. The Super comes with next gen DDR6 RAM, man. That TI's got DDR4. I think it's DDR4. Might be DDR5. I don't have to go look. The 1660 Super outperformed the TI. It's just all. That's all I remember. What's up, Spence?
What's up?
But yeah, Peaks. I would do a 1660 Super or the 2060. Two different levels of cards. Unfortunately, this is where NVIDIA has muddled the waters and murked them all up with all these different versions of 1660s and 2060s and 2080s and 2070s. You really have to go to your homework to figure out what does what and what's worth the price. In my book, if I was going to get a 1660, it'd be a 1660 Super, nothing else. And if I wanted to go the next level up, it'd be a 2060. And then if I had the bang for the buck, I was going to be a 2080 Ti. And maybe twisted down the road, maybe a Titan. But it has to be gold plated.
Weird.
Peaks, you talking?
Once the podcast gets big.
Yeah.
Yeah, then he's gonna get a gold.
Fund our new
show it
graphics
off
cards.
like
Hey
this.
guys, smash that like button, dudes. I'm sorry, I'm gonna start trying to sneak that in every time now.
So,
Oh man.
Peaks, wait. DT for the night fish. I got to go 1660 Superman. The TI just doesn't.
Does
do
it
for
need
me.
to have spinning rims on it too, Geek?
Always spinning rims are
Ah.
a necessity.
Well, no, because I'm going to get a Titan and stuff. I'm going to spend the money on. I'm ripping the shroud, the fans, and the heatsink off and going liquid cool. So RGB maybe, but not the spinning rims.
He wants the spinning rims on the case twisted.
That's just something else to fail. What happened to Mace's fan, man?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
yes,
what he's gonna do. He's just gonna reach over it.
yes, Spence. The 1660 Super, in my book, trumps the 1660 Ti.
Yeah. Well, what next?
All right, guys. So I think like kind of one topic that kind of came up this week was collector's editions, collector's boxes. I spy something in the corner of Unforsaken Jay's
Yes.
frame
Grab
there,
it.
so maybe that could be a
Grab
nice
it.
segue
I had
into
put it
us,
over
right? Talk
here
about
for
Persona
a
Live.
reason.
All right,
Being
show it
that-
off.
I had bought, you know,
Bought. You're
Yeah.
from
Just-
I pre-ordered this thing actually back in December. It was like December 4th
Nice.
when they announced that it was coming west, and that's when I decided I was going to get it. You know, it came with, you know, like the art book that they did from the designs, from the persona, the characters. You know, the steel book. Actually, I put the steel book back in the box.
Whip it out. Oh, come on, man.
How much was it too?
Whip it out.
Like what do you get in the box?
You know what? This is simpler.
I can barely read that. You're gonna
Yeah.
have to.
That's
you have to read it
great.
to me.
Because I can't read it even. No, I'm just kidding. It's got the Joker mask with the stand, a steelbook, a soundtrack of the music that they use in it, the collector's box, which I'll show you in a second. There's an art book, and then there's a theme you can put on your PlayStation.
Where's the mask?
It's in the box.
Wear it, dude.
Twisted is winning
Throw
with
it on.
comments this week. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's in the box?
That's the actual box. Yeah.
Oh,
1 second. Stand by.
Standing by.
There he is.
Welcome back, Angle.
So,
Love to see
Otto,
that
for
gorgeous
reference,
face.
Yeah.
that's the steelbook that
Nice.
comes with Persona 5 Royal,
Yep.
with
Nice.
that game actually being on the back of it.
Excellent. Yeah. Looks good.
That's
So what?
it.
So J2, right? Like, how do you compare this against other collector's editions? Is this something like worth the money, or also like what makes a
Well,
good collector's edition?
All right, so the way I'll put it for myself personally, if I really like the game, or you know, like as I'll tell you this, like I'll use this one for reference. Trails of Cold Steel 1, right? I'd beaten Persona a few times. I was looking for another good JRPG to play, right? So I was looking at the PlayStation Store, and up pops Trails of Cold Steel. So I go to YouTube, look at some reviews for it. I decided to download it. I got it off the PlayStation Store. Then I went and found the collector's edition, which I also bought.
Nice.
And now I have all 3 collector's editions of Trails of Cold Steel.
Do you mind if I
Nice.
ask how much that collector's edition was? The Persona 5 Royal
What?
Collectors?
Persona 5? It was $84.99.
Okay, see, for me, that's a
sounds
valuable purchase.
Yeah.
The reason we're talking, I mean, I'm curious on the collector's editions. It used to be that they were worthwhile and they were affordable and they weren't stupid, crazy in
the
price.
stuff
And then
that's in them
Fallout
too, you're
76
not going to
happened.
find other places,
Yeah. So like
which is the big thing for me too.
Marvel's Avengers, their MMO that's coming out in September. If you go to their site and you want to get their collector's box edition because they give you a statue with it, they're wanting $200.
Yeah, Twisted. It was pretty reasonable, man.
Yeah, $90, $90 is very reasonable for what you got out of the box. I don't think $200.
Well, I know how much playtime I'm going to get out of Persona 5 too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at like these new games that have a history of coming out as half finished, and having played everyone, I have Persona 5 Royal loaded. It's not an unfinished game. The game is finished, so it's not a beta release that a developer is calling done when it's really.
Well, I mean,
still
it took us
beta.
8 years to even get the game.
Yeah,
The first
but
one.
so you get people that don't even have a game out on the market yet, and they're like Marvel's Avengers is $199. There was another
Yeah, I
game
did
that
see
came
that.
out.
Wow.
Resident Evil 3, I think a collector's was $179, I believe, and they came with the statue. I'm sorry, there's no real value. I'm not going to let my kids go drop $200 on a freaking collector's edition because it comes with a statue that took 2 seconds to pop out
we
of
were
a
talking
mold.
about that.
Yeah.
Well, like Hart said, what about Fallout 76? Wasn't that
Yeah.
in the 200 to plus range? Wasn't
Yeah,
I think it
yeah,
was
and they're like,
reasonable?
"Oh, you're gonna get this awesome canvas
And-
bag and this go," and it's like it was all like you bought it at the freaking Dollar General, and it's
Yep.
like people dropped
And
a lot
paste
of
the
money
logo
on
on
that. Yeah, and and people dropped a
Sherman.
lot of money on that, and then they didn't
I
even.
dropped $250 for the sponge.
What did you get in the SpongeBob
Dang.
collector's edition?
Please tell me you
Did
got
it
that
come with
mega
Patrick?
spatula.
A big Patrick and a spatula? Did it give you the secret recipe for Krabby Patty? But yeah, no, even Blizzard. I mean,
He says, "Whoa, hold up."
German.
Oh man,
Oh,
he
no.
even linked it for us.
So,
It's
not trying to like segue away from that, but you brought up something that's been bothering the ever living snot out of me as far as like releasing beta forms of games. I honestly feel like anymore people, almost all the game developers are going.
Hey,
towards,
Peaks, just FYI, Dollar General, that's like the biggest store in my town, so everybody goes there.
What makes that
Good
worth
Lord.
$300, German?
nothing.
Just the FYI, Peaks.
But so
Are you getting trolled on that? Is this a troll?
Can we get an image of this on
Yeah,
screen?
can you pull that up?
Yeah.
Yeah, put it
Right
on
here.
stream.
But so my issue is that they always say, oh, you get these early alpha beta testing and everything like that. I feel like that's kind of the developers' way of
Nah,
copying
he said
out
it's
of
not a
quality
joke.
testing their own stuff.
So you get a statue of Sandy
Hold up.
the squirrel,
Uh-huh.
SpongeBob, and Patrick. You also get a pair of socks.
Yeah, those socks though. Come on.
See, if
Peaks, I know the feeling, bro.
$300,
Small town.
man, where's my underwear?
Are those?
Where's the
wait, is that
underwear?
also 3 different versions of the game or 4
Yeah, I'm gonna
versions
look
of
that
the
up.
game?
Or
It's available on
think it may
PC,
be-
Nintendo,
Or
PS4, and
or
Xbox.
okay, it's one
It's
of the
or.
versions.
And you get a set of keychains. Okay, well I have to say, considering everything there, that is how big are the statues though? 8-inch, 8-inch.
does
So,
it tell
so
you?
that's a
Does it
decent
say
sized
those?
statue. Okay, that might be worth it. But like if you go to what is it? Marvel, Game Avengers,
And stickers. Can't forget the stickers.
yeah. So
By
it comes out
Peaks.
here. You can look at the pre-order. Earth's Mightiest Edition. It is physical, and you can go look. That's $200, and you get a Captain America statue, a bobblehead Hulk, and a Thor keychain in the metal case. And okay, this keychain right there, I got that at a comic book shop for $3, $2.95. The bobblehead is somewhere. I think my kid has it. You can get that bobblehead for like $8. The pin is like $5 at any comic book shop. So they're making you pay for the statue, which is already proven to be a plastic resin small. I'm sorry, I don't see how that's $200.
it's not.
This SpongeBob, you're getting a lot out of it. I still don't think it's worth $300. Because that's like at that point, it's like it's
But
like
see,
an Xbox branded
the
version
thing
console.
that I'll add that to is it's it's essentially the person that's buying it.
And
Yeah.
stickers.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I mean,
I'd rather an Iron Man statue than a Captain America statue.
I'll have to do that off the stream, Twisted.
Yeah, dude,
exactly what you're talking.
Google on stream. I like how he puts that.
Let me go to a
up there for you,
different
just to
screen.
know.
I'm off screen. I'm gonna go look.
Peaks is like, I'll look at it.
That's great.
We're
I
all
was
just-
looking up that the Resident Evil 2, not the 3
it-
collector's edition, but you're right. Like even that one is $250
Yeah.
right now, and it's got like
Oh.
a big statue of Leon Kennedy, and wasn't great outside of that.
You're correct, Twisted. I will not show that on this stream.
It's probably better if you don't.
Can you post a picture in the Discord? Because I kind of
You should see the Cyberpunk 2077 collector's edition. Not for price point, because I don't know what price point it's going to be yet, but for sheer amount of stuff you get from it.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up now. I'm curious.
I just posted.
There's a-
the link. It's a giant woman's
It's a
torso.
big box.
Hurt. It's just a woman's torso.
Hurt's gonna buy it just for that.
No, Sam will hurt him if he buys it. I'm pretty sure. She'd be like,
Nah,
"What's
I have no
the
desire
point?"
for that.
Twisted bought it, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, this Cyberpunk box looks great though.
Yeah,
And that looks massive.
So I'm not a big fan of pre-ordering anymore. It's like we were talking a long time or earlier tonight. Is because so
before we
many of
pick
those
this up.
AAA vendors now, their idea of release production is a beta game, and because they've gotten lazy.
He has 5 of them.
You
Are
are
you
a
gonna
lonely
pre-order-
man.
Cyberpunk?
I am going to pre-order Cyberpunk.
I don't pre-order games really either, and I mean CD Projekt Red and the Witcher series, I put a lot of time in. They've got a lot of goodwill for me, so
Yeah.
this could be a collector's edition. I go.
We'll
for.
see.
I haven't
like,
bought
the
one
other
in a
thing
while.
is too, like with the release of the collector's edition for Trails of Cold Steel 4 that's coming to PS4. I did pre-order that collector's edition too, just because I do have a track record with them that I know I trust the company.
But a few of them. Do you buy the collector's editions, German, before or after they've been released? I mean, a lot of them are like you get the pre-order, so you have the early access and everything. But
Rip Twisted.
Yeah, no. Rip. F's in the chat, guys. That's a big F.
Yeah, that's got to be a cap.
And for audio listeners, that was the Anthem collector's edition.
Yeah.
Mentioned.
dude,
That's a big
was,
OF.
that was such. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I did the same thing. I was, I was in on it, and luckily, and they were. That they really screwed up on that one, and they really didn't do a good job of making right to their customers. Luckily, Microsoft stepped in and they refunded me 50% of my purchase, and I got to keep the game. But oh my gosh, I was such.
Yeah, I did that same thing. Dude,
Now we've had a couple party members, a couple of followers say that we should go back and reload it and take a look at it because they have made some improvements. I also know what the developer has said, that they're going to keep it on a heartbeat, and then they're in the process of revamping the entire deck and the platform from the ground up, taking everything that's been positively reviewed, trashing the rest, and instead of trying to do it like a Bungie timeline or anything like that, they're just going to say, hey, we're going to keep this here. This is what you guys have now. Give us some time to give you a new release platform. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes in a year.
So
for the revamp.
Quick question. Someone brought up Division 2 really fast, and it sparked something in my mind that I watched a video. Destin from IGN, he does like the what is that? Fireteam Chat for IGN.
Yeah, video producer.
So he released a video on his personal channel. I don't remember when it was. It was recently on Division 2 how they're actually like banning and punishing people that are using an exploit in the game that they found. And it's like, they're like, how do you guys feel about that? Like, there's an exploit in the game that you as developers didn't catch, and people go through and use it and do how-tos and everything like that.
I did see a few videos on that though too.
you could take the Bungie route of kind of
I've seen
memorializing it, with like the laser tag emblem and the release the wolves emblem and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And like
The uses emblems no one uses anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still, still one of those like throwback things. People kind of like look back on, it's like, oh, hey, what's that cool?
I mean, I'm
skull with a
biased
laser going
because of
through it.
Bungie on that, right? Like, I couldn't imagine if they ever banned a Glad or a whoever for putting out these kind of big things
Yeah,
that
well,
exploit the game that people jump in and they have to go disable. Like, I would
Right
never
now
see
with
Bungie
the
do that. I
Nightfall,
wouldn't expect
you're
that
getting
from
double
others.
drops, and people are making videos about that. You're getting double drops on the Nightfall right now.
Yep.
So like if Bungie came through and just like banned and started dropping hammers on people, like people would lose their minds. And for some reason, people seem like they're okay with it in the Division 2, and it has something to do with like getting on a turret, getting off.
But like Twisted is saying in chat, though,
Yeah.
most cases it's not permanent, and it's 7 days.
But still, though, that's your fault as a dev for not catching that.
Well, they made aware of it. You know what? It's me playing the game as it's developed. It's made available to me.
So why am I getting punished for your shortcomings as a developer?
Yeah. Again, it's because they have to do something, because you got 2% of the game population crying like a bunch of little girls to mommy. Oh, it's not working right. I gotta do it. It's not making it fun. Well, you know what? It's not fun for you, but the rest of us, 90% of the players that don't give a crap, are just trying to enjoy something that's kind of there, and we'll let them go focus on something that's actually broken.
See, the only reason I can see, maybe not even a ban, but getting like some sort of is, I think they said that some people are somehow figuring out a way to do it in the dark zone and like be griefing other players, which I can see as being an issue. Like no one wants to get mollywopped by some dude using an exploit. But again, don't punish the player. You should, as a dev, be like, all right, we're going to address this and, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can kind of see that. But again, like a ban, like a full on ban, like that's your job as a developer to catch those things.
Yeah.
And if you don't, like how you can't, you can't say, oh, well, we're gonna punish you for catching an issue that we didn't catch. Like that's just, it's asinine to me.
Oh, I agree. So one thing, since we're getting a little bit late, that I want to make sure that we do is we did get some concept art back from a graphics designer that we've been working with. He's a really cool guy. I'll put a link for how you can find him. He's got really great prices. He's done all this work for, I think it was like $35. So he did 3 graphics design concepts for us, and he's doing banner work and some other stuff. But what we want to do is we want to show you the 3 logos, get y'all's feedback on it, to see what direction we're going to move in, and then we can take that to him and he can move forward and focus on what we want. So with that said, here is the first logo. And let me pull up the chat to make sure I can see what everyone's saying. Ben Winston again, peaks. This is the first concept for Press What to join. It's kind of retro. He's looking at it. It kind of reminded me of the NES controller. So he's going to go back, if we move with it, kind of incorporate more of the NES 64 controller, kind of. But this does go with the banner.
In chat, by the way, do you like either 1, 2, or 3 for which one you like?
This is
so
number
that we're not
1.
having them.
This is my actual favorite right here. This is number 2. It's an icon. It represents like the game buttons and stuff on the controllers or whatnot. And it's a press what. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. There's no question mark or anything. It kind of captures what we do. The neon there brings it out pretty good. I believe Otto looked at it on a mobile device, so it kind of stands out better. But there'd be more going along with it. And then the one he sent over today, I've already talked to him about it. Some of the feedback was it might be a little too PS4 centric. Maybe genericize the control a little bit, remove some of the things. He just hasn't done a whole lot with it. When he told me he was looking at is doing more work with the buttons, getting the press what joined in there and some other stuff. But before he moves forward with it, we need to figure out which one. Yeah, I agree, Peaks. Which one people are leaning more towards. I know which our favorites are. And we just want to get the community's feedback on it, help us get this going, because once we make the decision tonight or tomorrow, he's going to go all out full tilt to get us our logo working, as well as a banner for both YouTube, Twitter,
Facebook,
Instagram, TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
You guys don't like those stock photos I grabbed for the placeholder? Come on.
Hey.
So number 2, it looks like is
the winner there.
So all right,
and maybe throw them all. Can you throw them all up on screen too, or is it gonna be tough?
Hold on. We got so far we're looking 1, 2, 3, 4 for 2,
Yep.
1 for 1.
How
Twisted,
convenient.
I love you, dog.
And
But,
no one for 3.
and
So this one, that black icon is 2 as a choice. The NES one was 1 as a choice, and then the PS kind of
the controller was 3.
there you go. So yeah,
So
boom.
Twisted would like it. I see. I like number 1 if it has more of the NES into it. Get rid of the bubble effect. Make it more.
See, that's exactly what I said. Yeah, that's what I said. I didn't like the bubble.
Yeah.
The bubble
So when I talked to him earlier, he was on tune with that one. The number 3 one, the controller itself, little less PS4 influence, a little less question marks, a little more adaptivity to it. But I like number 2 because it's very simple, it's very clean, and we can do a lot with it.
Yeah, those social buttons for me on that too.
The buttons kind of throw me off. It's like WHAT instead of like WHAT.
Yeah, we can change them around.
It's WHAT instead of WHAT.
No.
Yes.
Good job, Hurt.
You want a WTH? Is that what you're saying?
Y'all yeet.
He wants what?
What?
What? Yeah.
What?
Hey, listen, we're in the South. We say what
well,
here.
Country
You ain't
Henry.
in
Just
South.
so you know, we had one other guy that I was working with, but he does really good work. Problem is he's not in the United States, so it was a language barrier, time differences, and this guy here that we found. I was in a different Discord and I was posting up because I'm trying to get better about making my own thumbnails and doing video and graphics development. And he said, "Hey, dude, hop in a chat with me." He spent over an hour with me. Didn't charge me anything. The guy was great, teaching me how to do some really interesting basic transitions and flows for thumbnail creations inside of Photoshop and everything. Really, really great guy. And then it turns out he does this stuff. I used to do it more full time, and he's getting back into it. And what he showed me was great. He threw together my mixer panel stuff real quick for my offline and for my information stuff, or for my descriptions. And I said, all right, let's go ahead. What would the pricing be for getting stuff for the podcast that I do with my buddies? And he said it was like $30 or $35. So he's doing the logos at $5 a piece, and he's doing the banners that go with them and a few other things, and it's only $35. So I really couldn't complain on what he was doing. He's done out some really outstanding work. I'll put a link to his. I
like Twisted's comment there too. Just even like playing with the color arrangements too, somewhat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let me find it. Where is
Chat, thank you very much for chiming in too. It's
Absolutely.
good to get that feedback.
I'm trying to think of what color order the Xbox controller's buttons are in now, because my controller does not show.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Right there. There you go.
Yeah, that's definitely why. I was like, you can see, this is the problem. This is what I'm working with.
Oh, fair.
Oh,
That's a sweet controller though.
Crap, it better be for $200.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Xbox. It's yellow, red, green, blue.
This is why you buy a scuff controller here.
Yellow's on top.
The beauty.
What is it? Green's on bottom, blue's on left, and red's on right.
But yeah, that's exactly what I think Twisted's saying, right? We swap that blue, you almost get blue, yellow, red, green. That fits the Xbox's assortment.
Well, wouldn't yellow technically be the start? Because Y is the top button.
That's a good point. We could start in different spots. You're right.
Yeah, this is his placement.
YXAB.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a matter of how we take that to him and make sure it flows. But once he has it, I've been really, really pretty happy with what he's done. We gave him some general ideas, gave him a description of what we do. I linked him to the YouTube channel with the previous podcasts, and he ran with it and did pretty dang good on his own. And he
embraced the gaming concept of it, right?
Yeah, what was really cool too is we gave him feedback based on like the press what button, and within like let's see, he sent it over to me at 1 p.m. one day. I sent him over feedback from the team at 4 o'clock, and I'm not kidding you, like 32 minutes later he sent me back the updated version, which was night and day difference for colors and eye and pop and everything else. And it was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And now I'm trying to find the hyperlink that he gave me for his site.
You also follow up in Discord too if it's eluding you.
Yeah. So, could we get someone from the from the chat come up with the final question for us so we can kind of.
I think we actually had a good one already on what our old games have we been revisiting lately.
Yeah. What was that?
I played Dragon Age the other day, like Origins.
Ooh, that takes it back.
I played a new game this week too called Slime Ranchers with my kids. Pretty fun game. If you guys are interested in that, it's on the Xbox. It's not too bad. It's actually just interesting. You have a gun that goes around sucking up different types of slimes and fruits, and you have to feed them, cultivate them, and grow them. It's a farm for slimes.
Who said Justin Bieber, hands down?
Do I need to get you a box?
Do I need to get you a
box?
Midstream here.
I'm getting a celebrity boxing match with one person. Who would it be? Coleman.
Let's I mean, we give this one a shot. Let's give an answer. Say where we can find you, and we can kind of get to our sign off.
Yeah,
okay. Celebrity boxing match.
I already know. Like I said, Justin Bieber, because for some reason that guy just aggravates me.
He just has a punchable face.
I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't want to get in a fight just because I'm mad or I don't get along with him. I think it'd be fun. I'm going to say Chris Hemsworth. I think that'd be a heck of a fun just to hang out with them.
You know what? Then I'm just gonna go with Michael Jai White. Jay White. I just want to box him. Just let him wrap his leg clean around my neck.
Okay. Different use case.
Hurt. That's not teen movie, bro.
Wait, TMI there, bro.
Oh, stop! Have you seen that dude kick people in the head?
Boot to the head.
My shoulders, yeah. But I'm HurtLocker028. Find me there, Instagram, Twitter, wherever. I'm usually active in Discord-ish.
Twisted said that was graphic. Hurt.
Twisted's been scarred for life.
He said he's gonna find where I live. I'm a little concerned for my own safety. Yeah. Anyway,
you'd open the door for him anyway.
I got one. I go next. It's a little ode to Fight Club, but William Shatner.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. That
would you know that would be I'd be down. Yeah.
And I'm Autonomy AUP0NOMY. You can find me on Twitter and Mixer.
Yeah, yeet.
Otto, I'd have to go with that one too. Really,
nice.
Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, yeah. You can find me at Unforsaken J on Mixer and Twitter.
Yeah.
I think I got mine.
Okay.
I would definitely Tobey Maguire. Just for that terrible
the dancing scene. Oh, come on!
Terrible crying scene in Spider-Man where his face there's so much rolls.
Yeah.
It's like that's not.
Oh man.
It just made me want to punch him in the face. There's just wholeheartedly. I saw that scene and I was like, I wish I could knock you out.
Emo Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. You could find me here at Angle of Death 39 on both Mixer and Twitter.
Yeah, yeet.
Yeah. I'll stick with Chris Hemsworth, just because I think it'd be interesting to hang out with him. That or Von Damme, although Von Damme's falling apart in old age. You guys can find me at GMD Geek on Twitter, YouTube, Mixer, everywhere. It's GMD Geek. And if you guys have cybersecurity questions, please let me know.
Awesome. Hurt, you got to sign off?
I guess I'll do it again, yeah. Thank you so much for hopping in with us tonight, guys. Getting involved in chat and picking our, helping us pick our logo, making it a little bit easier on us. We're here every Friday night, same time. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Same place.
Yeah, same place. Yeah. Hey, and please come over to the Discord. Throw in your questions, comments, concerns, whatever there. Also, we have a Facebook page if you want to run over to that. I'm trying to get a thread going, or like a segment going in the podcast where we read your comments or whatever live in the stream and kind of shout you out and everything like that. Cause create a little discussion. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's all the same. Press with a join. Go give us a follow. Smash that like button, my dudes. And, let's just get out of here.
Later, everybody.
Later.